What is good, everybody? Welcome back to episode 25 of the Moon or Dust Show. Wow, already 25 episodes. A lot to talk about today. We are getting absolutely cooked in the market. Not only that, but a lot of the launches this week just completely flop. We're going to talk about Blast, Well3, Borpa, DOP, and a ton more. Ash, how you doing, sir? Are you surviving this crash?
Yeah, I feel very numb to this. I'm sure you probably feel the same, but it's like, yeah, the market is down so bad, but it's like it doesn't even really bother me at all. Just because like it's like if you're in an industry like this, you kind of have to deal with it. So it does suck though, and there has been a lot of weird shit going on. So like, yeah. Plus, as we were talking about, I found a cat outside and brought him in and was taking care of him last night. So I guess that was distracting me from like all the stuff that's going on.
Yeah, IRL stuff. I guess, I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm unbothered by this crash. It always sucks seeing your portfolio absolutely nuke, but we're used to it. I guess that's what we'll say. But yeah, let's quickly look at the market right here. If I pull this up, if we just look at some of the main coins here, we got Bitcoin down 21% on the month. On the day, it doesn't look too bad, but we're sitting just above 55K. It went as low, I think, as like 53, unless it went overnight while I was sleeping. We have ETH sitting under $3,000, Solana at 132. Ton went under, it went to like 6.5, and now it's reclaimed. There was a lot of trades to be made. Like when there's this much blood in the market, you can often make some good trades. We got Pepe sitting at $3.5 billion. It's down 40% on the month. We got Mog not looking too bad because it did have that major crash and then a huge recovery. It went way lower than this just a couple weeks ago to like 350 mil, where I remember you were buying. You made a nice
Yeah.
trade there, but it's completely, I mean, gone back down, but I mean, it's still 500. So on the 30-day, you're up. Just on the week, you're down if you bought in those highs. And then some of the altcoins that we often talk about, we got Memecoin, Echelon Prime, S Fund, Carrot, Shrapnel, all down between 60 and 70%, with Echelon Prime under $8, which was a buying point for a lot of people. It's at $7 right now. And of course, Blast getting absolutely nuked. We're going to talk about that. I mean, obviously, with the whole market down, it's not as fair to say, hey, just Blast has crashed. But obviously, it's not doing good. Man, S Fund down to $1.30. That's crazy. A lot of these coins getting nuked, man. And then if we look at NFTs, we got Pudgies holding above 10, but they recently went to 12. So unfortunate to see them back at 10 again. My lady's holding up super strong, dude. They're keeping their 5 ETH floor. Captain's at 2.7 and Bored Apes back under 10. All those people who were tweeting, try to get a Bored Ape under 10 ETH. You can't. Now you can. Sorry, not to laugh at you guys. And Azuki at 3.6 ETH. So the entire market getting wrecked, but the 7-day or even the 1-day change, but the 7-day change on NFTs really doesn't look too bad because we did have a really nice recovery. So we've pretty much just, lost all the gains we made recently.
Yeah, hearing like the gaming coins, that's honestly like that to me is the biggest kicker. I think it's not Bitcoin. I don't think it's like ETH. Like it's to me, it's not that. It is the gaming coins. Like those coins have, and I get it. Like they're altcoins, and like most altcoins are also down bad. But for some reason, like those, I think it's because like last cycle gaming coins went crazy with no product, and now it's like there are a lot of games that do have products, and there's like, you know what I mean, like there's more stuff out there now. Whether or not like a lot of these gaming tokens have like a sync or a use case, like might be part of the reason as to why like they're dumping. But yeah, I don't know why I feel like that's what hurts the most to me.
I guess it's, why are they going to get attention? Like why would people care about the gaming coin? There's so many gaming coins launching, and the weird thing is we did get huge run-ups. Everybody's talking about how like, oh, we're not in the bull. I mean, dude, when we crashed from FTX, if you were buying, you were getting Solana at $9 and it went to 200. Like, we did have a really, I'm not saying the run's over. I don't believe it's over at all. But a lot of these gaming coins and AI coins, like they already printed a ton of money. and you need that new wave of people to come in and buy, and we just don't have those people right now. Like retail is not here unless we were the retail and we got wrecked.
Yeah, we were yeah, we were literally retail, right? Like, yeah, I mean, I'll say this, like, I bought Prime, um, at, like, 18, 16, 14, like, just kept DCAing down. Haven't even looked at it. Hearing that it's under 8 sucks. Uh, I hold S Fund too. I mean, everything is down, right?
Yeah.
But, like, so in this entire market drawdown, what's like the biggest letdown for you?
I mean, I didn't put in. So I was reading DJ's comment. He's talking about Harry Potter and Voldemort, Borpa and Gorples. We'll get into all that. I don't know. I guess I haven't allocated that much money to altcoins, so I'm still very heavy in ETH and Bitcoin. So this isn't like hurting me too much. I do want to buy more. I guess I recently put in like 7 ETH into Pepe, which sucks because that's down. But I'm just gonna buy more. I guess what coins are you buying here? Are you buying a lot of these altcoins or a lot of these meme coins?
I made one buy last night.
Which
It was
was
Pepe. It was Pepe. I
Pepe?
bought $20,000 worth.
Nice.
So um now what sucks is that of course I picked the wrong coin if we're talking about a short-term bounce, because in the same time frame Mog is up 20% basically. So Mog is up like 20%. Pepe is flat, like from where I bought it basically. Like I might be up like a little bit. The market cap is so big that like, it's just it doesn't even make a difference. So yeah. So then there's also um God. Yeah, do you want to talk about Billy now or what?
Sure, dude. Yeah, I mean, if we look at some of the altcoins here, these are just some of the popular ones that I've been keeping an eye on. And Billy, dude. I mean, we got into Wolf. We've been talking about this thing since 20 million. It's up. It was up 40% this morning. It's correct a little bit over the 24-hour period. It's up 31% when the rest of the market is pretty much down. Yeah, whether you bought it 6 hours, 6 hours ago, if you bought, you're up 30%. It was at 120. Now it's currently sitting at 160 mil market cap. And I've heard, like, one of my friends is tracking some wallets. He told me he's going to buy in here because he said there's some pretty big wallets accumulating. So is the narrative Billy to a Billy going to play out while the rest of the market is absolutely nuking?
This is
We'll
unbelievable
see.
to me. And like what's funny is I know that you and I talked, and like I had DCA'd pretty heavily into Wolf, and it was between that and Billy. And I feel like this is like kind of been this has been happening because like there's, how do I put this? There's like basically one coin that just becomes like the god coin, and then I feel like it falls off. So it's like Wolf had like a pretty crazy run, and I still am holding my whole Wolf bag, and I think that like, it's a good consolidation period for it. But I think we're seeing like what Billy's like hype, like crazy, like hyperbolic run looks like right now. So
Would you buy in here? It's literally at all-time highs when the market is getting absolutely cooked.
I I the thing is I was actually looking at it last night. I was considering buying it, but I said to myself that I was like, okay, if I know that it went to like 130 or so and then it dumped to like 100, and I remember saying to myself, this is holding too strong. I should probably wait for this to get like nuked by maybe some early holders or something. People just aren't selling it. Crazy. Honestly, so crazy. And the worst thing is that I literally found this coin at like $1.7 million market cap. Like, and that was what, 3 weeks ago? Only in crypto
Not
can
even. Yeah.
only in crypto can you find a coin that literally 100x's in 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's what's fun.
Unreal,
Anything can
dude.
happen. Even a market correction, we could be fine next week. I mean, we could full correct by next week, and then people would be praising the market again. If we talk, let's talk a little bit about why things are crashing. We first have. Let me pull some stuff up here. Am I streaming? No, I'm not sharing my screen. So we first have the government of Germany completely wrecking us. They have had 3 billion total that they're going to get rid of. They currently, I mean, now it's probably less because they've been dumping, but they currently still have 2.3 billion. So we haven't even seen 33% of the selling pressure from the German government as they've confiscated money from some scammers here. So the German government is kind of wrecking us here. Justin Sun, the founder of Tron, coming in and say, "Hey, I'm willing to negotiate with the German government to purchase all of their Bitcoin off market in order to minimize the impact." I don't think they care. I wonder, like in these situations, if there's some big people who try to get in touch and be like, "Hey, like don't nuke my bags here." There's for sure like BlackRock. They're now involved in Bitcoin. I wonder if they're. I mean, they're probably getting in. They're loving this, right? They're getting in cheaper, so maybe they even like this. And at the same time that this is happening, we have the Mount Gox FUD happening, where they have like 9 billion or something in crypto to pay back to customers. So they started transferring money. They did a test transfer of like $25, and that's where people really started to panic. And now they've sent $2.7 billion. So
In one
that's
transaction.
yeah, that's crazy. What was the fee here? Like $25? The future of finance. But yeah, $2.7 billion to start, I guess, repaying customers, and people are scared that these customers who they lost this money years ago. So no, they're going to want their cash back, and it's being paid back in Bitcoin. So they're up big, I guess, on that Bitcoin since it was so long ago, and people are assuming they're going to dump here and pull their money out of the market. So we have two FUD events happening at the same time. I mean, when you look at the sell pressure out of Germany, it really doesn't seem that bad because it's even less than one of the inflows of the ETFs, the Bitcoin ETFs. Just the inflows of the ETFs, not counting any other buying. The daily selling that they're doing is less, but people are panicking here, which I understand. I mean, you also have to look at the overall market. We're not printing yet. Things aren't looking the best, but to what's it called? Reach out an olive branch or whatever the expression is. Some positive news. I mean, I did see this about Donald Trump saying allegedly, I didn't confirm this, but if it's from Forbes, so let's hope it's real. Trump sparks talk of Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset. Going to start holding Bitcoin like gold. That'd be really interesting. And then the biggest green flag. I mean, we do have the ETH ETF potentially happening as early as next week, but the biggest green flag that I see is, which I don't see many people talking about. I did see like Miles tweet about it. Is FTX paying back customers. They owe customers 16 billion, and 12 billion of that they have in cash, or maybe it's like USDC, but it's in stables or cash that they're going to pay back customers with. So as they pay back that money ideally is going to flow back into the market. If they were paying them back in Bitcoin and ETH, yeah, I'd say, oh man, we got the perfect storm here. Germany, Mount Gox, and FTX. It's going to be a race for the doors. But we got FTX coming to give people money, a stimmy. And a lot of those people are crypto investors. And what are they going to do? They're seeing this beautiful dip right now. I imagine that they're going to scoop this money up, this crypto up, scoop up this dip. It just depends when are we going to get this this redistribution of wealth of this money that FTX owes customers. I don't think it's going to happen for a couple months at least.
FTX, I don't know. The Mount Gox thing, apparently they're going to do that in phases. So
I
that's like,
hope, man.
well, that's like what they said, is that there was like different levels of it. So and it's not going to all be at once. I think they understand like what that would do. Plus, like, you got to think too that there is like an entire process where Mount Gox was like 10 years ago. So you have to basically like prove that the account was yours, and
Mhm.
like just that entire situation. But yeah, it does feel like this is one of I mean, anything can happen, but this does feel just like one of those like perfect black swan like shit storms basically. And I'm already personally like so heavy into crypto that for me, I'm not really deploying a ton of stables. Like I probably will buy some Solana. I think that's like my play here. But I think the main thing is to feel it out and then just swap ETH into memes. Like that's kind of my plan is just to buy Pepe and Mog on ETH with size. And
No whiff, no Solana coins.
uh I think I'm just gonna hold the Solana. I think the goal, my plan is this. I was talking to a couple of people last night that are like some pretty good size traders, and basically the plan is to just, if you look at the last time Pepe and Mog and like all these coins dipped like this, they all pretty much gave a free 100 to 200% pump within a month. And so I think that that's going to be my plays. I think I'm going to go in pretty heavy with size and then see if I can just get like a 50% to like 100% gain on size. Cuz the thing is if you buy here, if you buy Pepe at 3.5 billion dollar market cap, it was at like 7, or that was, I think that was the height. Like dude, if it was at 7, and if you buy here at 3.5, which is down 50%, and we go down another 50%, like the market is probably completely screwed anyway. You know, like if that's kind of how I view it, is that like if you look at any other dip buying opportunities, they were money. So it's hard to think that it's not going to be the same case now.
Yeah, I see a lot of people saying that the next support level is like 52K, and if we go under that, it's going to be like 44K Bitcoin. That would be pretty devastating to a lot of altcoins. But again, DCAing is often a very good strat, so I'm going to do the same. Pepe, Mog, uh, I'll copy trade you there.
Yeah. Yeah, I like those. The other like meme coins and stuff would be like Brett. Um, God, Blast. What are we going to talk about that? Like,
Of
is
course.
that okay?
We can talk
Is
about
that
that right now.
is
I just
that
wanted
next?
to point out because I did see somebody talk about it. Some gaming, while we were talking about the gaming market nuking, there are some gaming coins holding up decently. We got Pirate Nation doing really well. Uh, it's still above its launch price, which a lot of the gaming coins we're seeing launch aren't able to do that. And then another one that has been crushing it is Bloodloop. Dude, this thing with their play to airdrop, it went as high as 50 cents. It's currently sitting at 33 cents. GG to Bloodloop, also higher than its launch price. If you bought as it launched, or even as it dipped after launch, you're up 75% here. So there are some gaming coins doing really good.
Yeah, what was that one?
BLS Bloodloop.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I can't. I could like barely see it
Yeah, the
on
screen.
your.
I got to figure out what to do with the screen. I guess I can manually zoom in. There we go. Boom.
Yeah, Bloodloop has been killing it. Actually, like it's. I will say, like, when it opened, I think there were some like questions about it, but yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, Bloodloop has been doing well.
But let's get into what you just asked about Blast, because Blast, again, the entire market's down, but despite the market being down, it was on a downwards trajectory before, and then you could even see the dips that happened. I believe this is when they had their AMA with the community, or no, when they released their those documents saying like, hey, Blast is going to be a governance token, and you're going to get to vote on things, and people were like, yeah, no thanks. But it's just been down only. I know a lot of people like I know Clemente and some of those guys are saying like, hey, I know Pac-Man's going to come in and punish the sellers, but he hasn't, and it doesn't seem like he is. I have this recap here. They had an AMA, and Matt's Crypto gave a nice breakdown of what he said. I guess the TLDR of this is he's kind of not so concerned with the point system anymore because he's like, hey, that's not going to hold it up long term. Yeah, I don't know what happens with this token here. I feel like I saw some comments that really were on point. Like the Blast community is mainly people gambling and people trying to get incentives, like they're farming gold and they're just gambling on stuff. And the coin really doesn't represent that. The coin, he's trying to build like a real coin, and he's talking about how USDB is like one of the top stable coins, and we don't care. We just want a casino and we want to print money.
Yeah, I personally, I'll say this, like Clemente has been making a lot of content around Blast. We've talked about Blast a lot. And I am personally, this sounds weird, but like I'm kind of shocked that Blast is, I get it. The entire market is doing bad. But like if you look at the Blast chart, it's like it's like really bad. Like it's when you have a chart that like goes under the opening price, like it's crazy. And like to me, when I think about it, it's like, you know, you had Kettle and you had Colony and you had Cambria and so many different things like whatever, like Wasabi and Juice and like you know, there was a lot of stuff on there that I feel like was well branded. They had like good engagement and like all this kind of stuff. And it was, I always knew, and I think we all kind of knew that that people were in it for the gold. Like people were in it for the rewards. We knew that. But like when I think about how overvalued some of these, like why, like here's my question. Why is something like Polygon still so high? Because like also Arbitrum, I believe, just hit like new all-time lows. And so my thing is when I look at like things like Polygon and Arbitrum, and there's not, I don't know. I'm not gonna go in. I don't have stats to back a lot of this stuff up. I guess I'm going based off of like social metrics and like how much people talk about
Yeah,
stuff.
the general opinion on things. I mean, Matic is one of the big ones people talk about, and the current market cap is at 4.6. It's 3x the market cap of Blast, but they pretty much went all the way down to the lows of, you know, lower than the bear market actually. So yeah, if you bought in, even if you were accumulating last bear, you're still wrecked. And then you mentioned Arbitrum. I did see that post yesterday. Arbitrum getting absolutely cooked. Wow. Yeah, all-time lows.
So
I don't really see a point of holding any of these. That's the thing. Like I don't have any of these in my portfolio, and I never really I never really cared. I mean, I've considered getting them. I've traded some of them. I let's call it fell for the narratives at one point, but what's the point? I don't know. You're kind of just buying it. A lot of people buy, they look at the old all-time high prices. Are like, okay, it went to $2. It's probably going to go to $6 this time. Oh, it's at 62 cents. It's going to be a 10x. And that's how a lot of people do their calculations. And if you look at Solana, that's what a lot of people do for Solana, right? They look at previous all-time highs. They're like, okay, last time it went to $250. We're probably going to go to, I'm seeing everybody call for $1,000 Solana, right? And I mean, we went to $200 Solana this cycle, and we did not cross all-time highs. So people think there's a lot left. But when you look at market cap, we've crossed it in terms of market cap just because of how many unlocks there's been. So that's, a lot of people don't consider that. Same thing for like even Cetify. When look, we love Cetify. We're both partnered with them. But when you look at their previous all-time high, again, you have to consider the unlocks. That's something a lot of people aren't considering. And I understand if this cycle is bigger than previous cycles, there's going to be a lot more money coming in. So there's going to be more buyers, but there's also a lot more coins to choose from right now. And it's very hard to get attention in this market.
I mean, you make a point, right? Like why hold some of those things? Because you're right. It's like, what is the point? It is tough to think that if you were like buying tokens during the bear market and you happen to buy Arbitrum, that you're like you're down. Like that's crazy, dude. Even with this market not doing well, it's unreal to me to think that like some of these coins have retraced their entire 6-month move. That's crazy, dude. It's crazy to me to think.
Because nobody cares. It's an attention game, and the things, dude. It's been meme coins have been the main character, and people don't care about this stuff. Who's able to get attention? Is it Arbitrum posting about their tech? And like, we're not trying to dunk on Arbitrum here and the teams behind them. Is it Arbitrum and what they're building, and like how fast or how cheap their transactions are, or is it like, yo, look how cute this dog is, Billy to a Billy? That's a way more digestible narrative, and it's way more viral. Like a picture of a cute dog is way more viral than explaining how the blockchain works and why this layer 2 is better than the other layer 2.
So you know what's funny that you say that is that there's a lot of people that will come out and they'll tweet and they'll say like, "Oh, I wish, people aren't here for the tech. Like this market is a joke." Like, and they'll like go off on it like an entire thing on how like they believe that people should be here because of products and like, the great like tech and everything. And what's funny is that like what you said is true. People that are here just want to gamble on random shit. Like that's it. And
That's
it's
every
like,
market, dude. The stock market. You're telling me like every stock you've bought, you've been like, wow, I care so much about this product. No, you don't give a shit. You just think it's numbers going to go up. Do
yeah.
people understand like how Tesla or how Nvidia, do people care about the Nvidia tech? No, they're just like, yo, this shit's hyped and it's going to keep going. That's it.
This shit's hype. No, literally, like, and what's funny is I can understand how people that are building legitimate like if you're trying to build something legit, like let's say that you are actually trying to build a game, you are trying to build something legit, and you're like, well, why aren't people using this platform? And then you go look at how Pepe has all the volume, and it's like, one thing that I've seen, and I did write about this, is that people got very tired because we've seen this. You and I know this better than anybody else too, because I've spoken to so many teams. You've spoken to so many teams. And how many times have you gotten on calls with people in the past year, 2 years, 3 years that you've been here, and they tell you about how this is going to be this great thing and how, whatever, and they hype it to the heavens. And then it ends up being like dog shit. Like nobody, nobody cares and it sucks. And it's like the market has learned that execution risk is so high. It's why we have like all these sell the news events on tokens or airdrops or like anything, because the idea of the utility is always better than the actual utility itself. And the idea of utility for meme coins is the price going up. Like that's what people think, is that like you're betting on future attention. So I know I went on like a whole thing right there, but it's just funny because when I buy a meme coin, I say to myself, I think that this will just get enough attention to go up in price. I think that's what everyone thinks. But when you think about like any of these products and and that kind of thing, it's like, when with Blast, people are like, oh, is it going to get a Binance listing? Oh, like there's execution risk there. What if they don't? What are the new incentives going to be? Are the new incentives going to be worth it? Like there's just so much there. People would rather just park it into Pepe memes.
Agreed. Yeah. I mean, even with NFT projects, how many projects tell us like, oh yeah, we think our floor is going to be 1 to 2 ETH, and it's like, yeah, good joke. Or like 10 ETH is everybody would tell us that, and it's like, yeah, you guys have no idea what you're talking about. And coins is the same thing.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Like I mean, you have spoken to hundreds of NFT projects, and like they're all dead.
Yeah, especially in this market. Panda here saying he's one of my friends. We do a lot of Blast stuff together. Problem is there's no incentive to hold Blast right now, so people, even farmers, still at it, don't want to be holding the bag while everything is crashing. Agreed. And I did see some people talking about why aren't Blast holders or stakers, whatever, getting a way bigger boost in their points than people who just have ETH on Blast. And I guess one of the reasons that the Blast team doesn't want to lose the stakers or the people, the TVL on Blast. I wonder what it's at. Let's go look at that DeFi Llama.
It's probably down pretty bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. The top was 2.27 billion. Yeah, it's down 50%.
That's
but no,
crazy.
I thought it would be down worse, to be honest. I thought it would be under $1 billion. But maybe soon. I mean, one of the issues is it takes 2 weeks to get your money out, and I've pulled mine. I'm trying to get my money out. It just takes 2 weeks. I mean, I know there's some bridges you can use, but I use the official one, and I have to wait 2 weeks. They said they might reduce it to a week. I don't believe their excuse for it. Like, oh, it has to do with staking and all. I don't buy that for a second. I think they want to hold us hostage and discourage you from pulling your money off.
Isn't that messed up?
Yeah.
Don't you think that's messed up?
Like, they tell you when you put your money in. So
I know, but like, I get that they're trying to like keep money on the platform, but that was always one of the main things that I didn't like about Blast.
Same.
Is that like it has nothing, like, honestly, like, it has nothing to do. It doesn't take 2 weeks. You and I both know it takes at max 20 minutes to do it. They're choosing to make it hard. And that's what I didn't like about it. When I initially faded Blast, it was because that was a thing. And now obviously you can bridge off of other things for a fee. I get that. But in my mind, I was like, dude, what? So I might have lost money by not, I may have lost money by like fudding myself because of that, but I don't know. I just didn't love that side of things on Blast.
This was back when we were talking about Matic here. When I moved the 60K I had on KuCoin off as Matic, I left it. So I basically bought 60K at 52 cents last bear. Oof, and it stayed in. What was the price that we just saw for Polygon? Matic, 46 cents. Damn. So you're down. Which MAGA is the good one? I've always thought Trump was the right one. I think it is. The issue is that with the DJT token.
That trade is very convoluted now. It was the MAGA. It was the ticker was Trump on ETH, and that was like the main one. But because of Martin Shkreli coming in and screwing it all up and launching that,
still is right. It still is. It's at the top here in terms of volume, and market cap. But yeah. Sorry, I just cut you off. Like you were just saying with Martin Shkreli.
No, you're good. Well,
he came in with the DJT token, and people were like, "Oh wait, there's an official Trump token," even though we're like not sure, and that just nuked the entire Trump market, and people are just scared now to touch these.
Yeah, because like, how do I know which one to buy? Like that's the thing. And I owned the one on ETH. Like I thought that was one of the best. See, that's like another crazy thing is like. That was one of, in my opinion, the best bets ever. But the biggest risk for meme coins is exactly what happened there, in my opinion, is that like if it would be like if Matt Fury came in and said, these aren't the actual like Pepe and Brett. Like I'm gonna launch my own like Pepe and Brett. First of all, those would moon. Those would moon hard. Yeah. But like
all the money in Pepe and Brett right now would just transfer into those.
Yes, which is crazy. But like Matt Fury, obviously he knows about these, and he doesn't seem to care, which to me is like also weird.
I think they donated him a lot of money too.
I mean, that would also be chill too. If you're just like, yeah, I don't want to have to do this, so just give me a bag of it and we'll be good. Because like that's probably honestly what I would do. Do you remember back? It was probably 6 months ago when the dude who created the dog with hat meme came back and said that he was the one that created it. Okay, so there was this dude, he was a Fortnite pro, and his name was Issa, and he was the guy who, it was like the dog with hat was his profile picture for years, and it wasn't his dog. Oh. It was not his dog, but it was his meme, and he came back and he was like, I'm launching the real whiff, like, because he saw that the other one was like mooning, and it did launch and it did get some volume, but Ansem basically like handed that guy the shaft and was just like, no. He was like, he's like, this isn't, which was it's and that, the reason why I bring this up is because that was like a little bit different, where like that guy was verified as the guy who created that meme, yet because Ansem was so big at the time, he basically was just like, nah, fam, we're just sticking with this one. And everyone just listened to him. And the other guy, like the other one just died, and then they got his like account banned. So like I guess it depends. Because what I said before was that if Matt Fury came back and like like that people would buy those, but who knows? Like that in my opinion is the scariest thing about meme coins.
Agreed. Here we're at 36 minutes. Let's get through our list here because we haven't really spoken about it. No, dude, it's not you. I see some people asking about Well3, so let's get into that one. No, to answer the question, no, we have not spoken about it yet. Let me pull some stuff up here. We both invested in Well3, by the way. We got absolutely cooked on it. Let me pull up my screen coin. Yeah, I put 10K into this thing, and I knew I shouldn't have, dude. I knew. I don't know why I thought this would be any different from the previous shit he's done. Yeah, you can't even find it on CoinMarketCap yet. Can I get it on CoinGecko? Well, nope, you cannot. My God. Okay, let's pull it up on Dex Screener. So basically, they were raising at like, at least the round I did, I think it was 60 mil. The chart looks disgusting here. Okay, it went much higher than this, but yeah, it's currently sitting at 84 mil FDV, so not even at a 2x, and I'm vested for like what, 2 years, dude?
I think it was 18 months, right?
18 months, yeah. Yeah, so basically what they did was, yeah, everybody's making jokes like unwell, well played and stuff. So yeah, they launched, dude. They waited over a year. Remember when the NFTs, like Yoga Pets, are down so bad and Cubs are down so bad? I assume the Genesis is also down bad. Remember when they launched and he said, like, if the Prada token doesn't come out within before January of whatever year, I guess it would make sense for this year, I'm giving a full refund. No, it was even a year before. I'm giving a full refund. And then he's just like, yeah, you know what? Never. Or if the price goes under something, I'm giving a full refund. And he's just like, yeah, never mind, no refunds. And then we wait, a year for the token to launch. And then he decides to launch in one of the worst periods with no real. He had Bybit and BitGet. Like, those were his exchanges. You can't even find it on. You know how easy it is to get on CoinMarketCap, dude? It's one of the easiest things. They're not even on CoinMarketCap. It really seems like they don't care. And you were not able to claim your tokens if you invested for a while. Meanwhile, somebody was dumping them on these exchanges. I saw a few posts here. I mean, I don't know how real some of these images are because there was some controversy here. I did see Maverick post this image, which to me doesn't make sense because, like, who was buying this coin at $80? I did see this one where it was trading for 22 cents, but $80 makes absolutely no sense. So I don't know what this is. The dude who grabbed the image did reply, and he said, like, hey, I personally took the screenshot. You should talk to BitGet because that was it. And he say, hey, the top was 22 cents. Okay, dude, 22 cents. It's still way higher than we are right now. And who was selling? Nobody had their tokens. Nobody had access to tokens. So who was dumping this into the market? Everybody's accusing them of selling, which I wouldn't put it past them, to be honest. Everything they've done. I saw a lot of complaints. I saw an image. Again, it's how do you know if this stuff's real? I can find it in the Discord. And he pretty much just came out saying, like, hey, we're sorry. We have to do better and regain the trust of Well3. Like, what are you talking about, dude? What are you talking about? You just look, he finessed everybody. Okay, let me pause. I hope they do well, right? They have real products. They have the ring or whatever. I have an Ura ring. The company's valued at 2.5 billion. Last I checked, Ura. So, and like these physical products. So there is a very large market here, and it could be much bigger than it is. The other side, though, is, are they actually going to build it out? Like, dude, they've made millions off the tokens. they made millions off the NFTs. Like, you know, first thing he did when he made that was when he bought a Gold Ape, the classic. Then I remember he was posting about a house and everybody was giving him shit for buying a nice house and like buying a new watch and everything. And it's like, okay, the guy might have money outside of this project. It doesn't mean that he used the money from the project to go do that stuff, but it's not good when your NFT people are just waiting. They bought your NFTs, they put in thousands of dollars, they're waiting, and then you're just flexing pictures of like houses and watches. Meanwhile, they're just like, hey, can you like maybe post a picture of what you're doing, like work behind the scenes? I did see Grail, like Grail's been ripping into a few projects, dude.
Yeah.
I did see him rip into this one, saying like calling it a rug, saying, you know, he's they're coming up with this lame excuse like, hey, the reason you can claim is because we were trying to protect you. Meanwhile, like millions of dollars are being dumped in the token. Again, this image, we don't know if it's real or not. He kind of talks about Memeland here, saying like, hey, they copied Memeland. I had heard Kyung's came up with a lot of Memeland mechanics, so I don't know about copying if he's the one who came up with it. But I guess a lot of people, I saw the conversation of one, there's Kyung's, there's this dude, Alex from Taji Labs. They kind of all launched a few projects together. If you guys weren't around during this period, Memeland absolutely popped off. Memeland went nuts. And then he launched Yoga Pets at the same time. A lot of people aped there because they're like, okay, if Memeland did well, Yoga Pets and this whole ecosystem is going to do well. And it did. Yoga Pets were up. Cubs were up. The Genesis Pass was up. Then this dude, Alex, came in and he launched a few projects. He launched Ear Pits, which, I mean, to me, it was always obvious. Look, it was potentially a good flip, but it was always obvious this thing was just going to zero. Absolute nightmare dealing with some of these collab guys, by the way. It was a biggest pain. Then there was another project that he did, Taji Labs, which they kind of ran the same play as the whole Genesis Pass. So the Memeland Genesis, the Kyung's Genesis, those sold for like 5 ETH, right? It was like some auction or some really expensive price. They kind of ran the same thing here, like low supply, 400 supply. I think what they were pushing here was an investment syndicate. I believe these things went for like 3 ETH, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look before I say
it was
random.
2.5.
2.5 ETH. They're currently at 0.05. I have not heard a single thing that these guys were doing.
They haven't done anything. And everything that this guy did was a blind auction. Every time it was like blind auction for the ear pits. It was blind auction for the keys. Like it was quite literally the max extract playbook.
Yeah.
And the thing is he could have, as you said, like he pitched it as an investment syndicate and literally didn't do anything. I minted one of these and I bought one on secondary and I lost money on it. And you know, you couldn't ask any questions. Like it was like that's like the thing that I really don't like is you can tell so early on if these people are legit or not, because when you ask questions about anything, if they just give you answers or if they instill some sort of confidence, then it's like, okay. But instead, like these, like for some reason, and I don't know if it's like, I don't know what the deal is, but they basically just always tell you to get fucked. They're just like, just sell it then or whatever. And it's like, no, like I bought this thing because you said you were going to do something. Like, why are you getting mad at me for like asking you what's happening with this thing? And like, I think that's the situation with like Well3 is that I think, they were like, they closed their Discord. I think one thing that like they could definitely benefit from is like just their PR and damage control, because this isn't the first time that they've had to do this. Like they've had to do this like a bunch of times. And it's like, if you have a history of having to like basically explain things to the community to make them feel good, then it's like hire somebody who can do it, like who can like in a quick moment. Like what they needed is yesterday or 2 days ago, they needed somebody with PR experience to come out and give an informed message as to what was going on and what happened and to instill confidence. Instead, like they were just basically like, all right, we're just going to ban everyone from the Discord and close it. Like that, I don't get that.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like, you know, the Azuki situation where they've had to come out multiple times and be like, "We're sorry, we're going to do better," and people just forgive them. And here, you know, people are like ruthless. I noticed the Taji Labs account has not tweeted since December 2023. So, you know, safe to say both these projects are just absolute rugs. Does he still tweet? February. He hasn't tweeted since February. Yeah, so I
No,
guess he's gone.
no,
He doesn't give a shit.
no, that guy, and you know how much money he made? Millions. He
Hmm.
made millions of dollars. Like that guy, the fact that people don't talk more about that is unreal to me because he like that's like, dude,
And
it's
I wonder
unreal.
what Ray. I don't know if Ray's spoken about this. Um, yeah, I'd be curious to know his opinion because I think one of the main reasons people, you know, invested in these and trusted them is because Ray was on board and he kind of like backed these guys and he was investing in them and he was on the website as an advisor and all that. So I would love to hear Ray's opinion on what happened. I know he kind of cut ties with Kyung's a while back, but I would really want to know what his opinion is here because a lot of people put in their money into these projects because of him and because of his name. So I'd wonder what that is. I did see some people like saying, you know, screw Memecoin because of this, and they were like holding him personally accountable. I think at the end of the day, you're the only person who's accountable for your own investments, and I wouldn't want to see, you know, one project suffer just because of your, you know, your anger towards it. But I do want to hear his opinion on the whole Well3 situation, Kyung situation. And what do you do? Like, do they raised at such a high valuation and it's gotten absolutely wrecked? And now you kind of, this is one of those projects where you just have to hope that, you know, one, they're going to maintain the floor, and two, they're actually going to go out and try to build a company because they've made most of their money, right? They're chilling. It's just like an NFT project. You make most of your money on day one. Now you kind of have to pray that they go out and, you know, win against Ura Ring and all these other Web2 companies that are already trying to do this tech and they're able to onboard people.
Yeah.
Lanky here saying when you interviewed them, because we had them on the show, you had multiple people talking about how in the chat and like it's they had blocked the Discord and like they really weren't talking about it and we were too polite to ask questions. Next time I'll go ham, fam. Yeah, no, absolute disaster. And the NFTs like going to zero. I mean, I'm just assuming I lost that money. I did sell a small unlock that I had, but I'm just assuming I lost like, you know, $6,000 or more on that project by the time I get my money back. The next one that absolutely got destroyed this week was, of course, Borpa. You know, this was one of the hypest projects. If you sold within the first couple days, you were fine.
Until
You were fine. I'm happy I took profits, man. I ended up making like $3,000 or something on this. I'm still holding. I mean, a lot of my pre-sales vested, so I'm still holding a big amount. But I'm happy I took profits. But let's look at the chart here. You know, it initially launched, it pumped, it went here, and then it dumped, and then some news came out, and boom, it just went to literal zero. And that news was that they broke up with Entangle. They're kind of blaming them, saying they're, you know, they had a bunch of mistakes. The bridge wasn't working. There was bugs. And this is something we spoke about last Friday. When there's one bug, assume there's going to be more. And my fear here was they're going to launch the game. People, especially if you stake your money into their death pools and then you're not able to get your money out or something, like there's going to be the token's just going to go to zero. And I mean, it did go to zero, but for a different reason. Obviously, the biggest risk was that, you know, they had what, like $60 million in their raffle. They could have just, that was the biggest risk. Them just being like, that's mine now. Thank you. Bye. I'm sure Entangle did their due diligence to check who they are. So that wasn't going to be that wasn't going to happen. But the bigger fear was that things don't work and the tech just was not working. That was the first red flag. And usually when there's smoke, there's fire, as people say. So they broke up with Entangle. The price absolutely nuked. I heard they did not pull liquidity themselves. So this is just like people mass selling off. So it's like if they want now, they want to relaunch a token with what money? Like, why is my token going to be worth anything? Why should people trust you and come in and buy your token? And the other funny thing is Entangle came out and dropped their own like they still own a lot of the stuff. So they were like, okay, yo, Borpa's ours now. We're calling it Gorpals. And it's just like this coin, like F Borpa dunking on it. Yeah, they're just, I mean, I did see some private chats here and they were going ham talking shit about the Borpa team.
They quote tweeted this on their like main page too. Is
Who
that
did?
funny?
Borpa? Oh, you mean Entangle? Yeah,
Yeah.
Entangle. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like a
Entangle.
professional company.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and they quote tweeted that. Like, is
yeah.
that not so weird?
Yeah, dude, you don't expect it. It's as if like
No.
Arbitrum is like they take over one of their community projects and are like, screw it, we're doing a
Yeah.
community takeover. Screw the original project. Like, yeah, Borpa's out, Gorpals is in. Like that's
Dude, they're like talking shit. It's actually hilarious. Like, especially seeing that, like it's so weird how Web3 it has like this professionalism, but like also doesn't.
it really doesn't. Yeah. We all try to be, but at the end of the day, often the non-professional stuff is the stuff that it stands out a lot. Really unfortunate for people who didn't sell or people who bought in when things like this happen. I know we had like 25 or 30 spots in my group, and some of them did not sell. Unfortunately, they were waiting. They were waiting for price to go up. You know, a lot of us thought it can regain or it can go to 10 cents. 10 cents. So it's really unfortunate. Again, I'm glad I took profits, but I'm pissed I didn't sell more. I could have sold much higher. I got greedy. I wanted to sell for not even a penny, a fraction of a penny more than you. That's what I wanted to do, dude. And I got greedy, and it didn't work out. So yeah, unfortunate for anyone that was in that. Am I still sharing my screen? Yes. After that, we have more celebrity coins. We have the Sydney Sweeney account getting hacked. Apparently, was this Sahil again, or what happened?
It had to have been. But
dude, really bad ticker going with Sweeney. I mean, you could have gone with so much better tickers here, but yeah, they made 500K, $500,000 in 30 minutes. It was just a pump and dump. Unless you got in within the first candle and got out, you got absolutely destroyed. And I'm assuming it's at zero here. And then there was another coin, a UFC fighter or ex-UFC fighter. Oh, he deleted his tweet. Classic. Let's go see if all of them are deleted. I think I screenshotted it though, just in case he deleted it. I knew this was going to happen. Yeah, he deleted all his tweets about it. This UFC fighter, Khamzat Chimaev, apparently a great UFC fighter, although he got sick from pandemic and had to pull out. Basically, a lot of people, and I saw the call for this in one of the areas servers I'm in. So I was able to trade on this and make some good money. Basically, if you got in here, yeah, you had to get in within the first. They basically launched it. They didn't announce it, although they did link the. Well, I'll tell you a funny story. So they basically like accumulated here, and then it pumped as like people started posting like, "Hey, this is going to be the real token," and then it traded just sideways. This is the area. Let me try to make it bigger here. This wick here. This is when he tweeted. It shot up for like a second. Somebody got absolutely nuked, and then it went under before he announced it was officially his. This was a sell the rumor event that happened, and now it's at literal zero. He's deleted all the socials. Obviously, it's a dead coin. You know what happened, dude? Somebody paid the Dex screener to put a fake Telegram link here with his stuff, and I guess he made some money scamming as well. And then they eventually switched it. The Twitter led to his page. Yeah, it still does. I didn't even look at the website for this. Oh, I got a suspicious alert. But yeah, it was a page about him, the Smash token. He posted a video saying, um, let's smash. He posted the classic, like, what crypto are we buying, guys? Then 24 hours later, like, here's my coin. Like, I want to learn, but here's my coin. And I did see a Zach XBT thread about it, like saying all the wallets for the devs, how they didn't really disguise it. I think they made like $500,000. So another coin, another day in Web3. It's the Wild West. Yeah, then the last, I guess people are really pissed about, the last one is DOP, the data, what's it called? Data Ownership Protocol, which I remember these guys approached me a long time ago and they wanted to work with me, but they didn't want me to say I was working with them. They just wanted me to like organically talk about them. So I never did it, but I know a lot of KOLs were pushing it. Yeah, if we look at it, it's only been out for a couple days. So what happened here is, like, the claims, you could claim, but you couldn't sell your tokens. But the pool was open, so people started providing liquidity to it and like trading this coin. But nobody who actually farmed or invested in it could sell their coin, and it went to like $500 million. And now that it's actually launched, like, it just completely nuked as people were able to claim and start selling. And it's currently at 340 million market cap. I know a lot of people are pissed about this one. I did see Grail posted like, hey, get your Vaseline ready. You're about to be bent over by the team here. I also saw Maverick post about this saying like, hey, you guys raised like tens of millions of dollars for this. This is like a privacy coin where you put your ETH into their chain and then like it's untraceable. You could do whatever you want and pull it out, which a lot of this stuff is already pretty sketchy with like, is it going to get banned by the government? But yeah, another big failure. I know when Portal and all the pre-sale meta was popping off, a lot of people were really hyped about this. I got a lot of DMs like, hey, are you investing? Are we able to get this investment opportunity? And pretty sure it was a flop here. So yeah, unfortunate. Just honestly, dude, a week of complete disappointments between the whole market going down, Well3, Borpa, DOP, more celebrity scams. Like, things are not looking good right now in Web3. And I mean, I posted about this yesterday, pretty much saying, nothing's changed. You got to ask yourself what you believe in. Let me pull it up here. Do you believe we're going to be higher in 6 to 12 months? Do you think Bitcoin's going to eventually cross 100K? If so, like, this is just noise, right? It's going to suck. And I understand you could have sold at 70 and bought back at whatever price we go to, but there's a chance we never went down. So that's always a risk. And then you'd have less coins. You would miss the pump. Often pumps happen in a very short period of time, so you would miss it. I guess and I was going to tweet this, but I guess one of the other reasons a lot of people are feeling so bad is a lot of people view Web3 as their escape, escape the matrix. It's their one way out of their 9 to 5 or their regular life, which that's what it was for me as well. So they're all in on crypto, but they haven't established like a proper form of making money out of Web3. I mean, we have sponsorship deals, we have our groups. So that's like a solid income that we get. So even though the market's crashing and our portfolios are nuking, and like, guys, I'm fully like 100% of my net worth is in crypto, dude. I have nothing in anything else. So when market goes down, like, I feel it, but at least I have this solid income coming in. And a lot of people, maybe you have a regular job that you potentially hate, but a lot of people they spend so much time in Web3 and they don't have that solid stream of income. So their only way to make it out here is either by gambling on meme coins or they just buy and they hold, right? They bought altcoins and they're holding, or they bought Bitcoin and they're holding, and they do all this math. Like, I'm going to make this much money when we go up. And now they're seeing it go down and they feel powerless because all they can do is wait. Time is their enemy right now. So, if you haven't established that, I feel your pain. I think it was Legendary who was tweeting like, if you're upset right now or this is hurting you, you're probably over leveraged. Most of us are probably over leveraged in this market, but I don't think that's the case. I just think the case is a lot of people don't have a way of making money in Web3 unless number go up, and they're completely powerless here. So don't lose hope. I personally believe that we're going back up, so this won't matter. It's temporary pain, but it's going to pass. And yeah, I don't know, a little pep talk at the end here to make people not feel so bad. Like I keep seeing these posts like the bottom is in. It's like nobody knows. They're just saying that to make themselves feel better, make you feel better, and be right. They're gonna pin that to the top. Like I called the bottom. I'm the best trader. Like nobody knows, dude. Everybody's just guessing. You might be doing some TA on the chart, but you don't know how much Germany's gonna dump. We don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you're totally right. And it's like funny when people talk about, "Oh, I knew about Bitcoin in 2015," for whatever reason. And like everyone just thinks that like because you knew about something that you just would have like magically bought it and held it. And it's like it's just like anything else, and this is like a good period of time to remember that the money comes from having to handle these downturns. Like nothing goes straight up, and if you want to make like the most money, then you have to hold. Like you have to hold, like as a trader. Like, I mean, even look at something like Billy. Billy went from 0 to 25 million and then down to 7. Look, I mean, even better example, look at Pepe. Pepe went to 1.8 billion dollar market cap and then went to 300 million, and it sat at 300 million for like 6 months before it ran like 20 to 30x off the lows.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's like there are people that held through that. So it's like you can't really get mad that you're not making money if you're not willing to hold long enough, which is why, eventually you and I are going to cook really hard on our portfolios, because I'm the same thing. Like I'm not selling anything. It's fun. What's always so funny is when people are like crypto's nuking and they're like, should I stable? And it's like, my guy, the time to stable would have been when everybody was, like when things are up. Like,
but I understand some people are thinking like maybe this is a double top and we've already topped out for the market, which I don't. But if you weren't willing to sell at 70,000 because you thought we were going higher, why are you going to sell now?
Yeah,
like to me, it's just weird.
Look,
I think we're in for another couple months of pain. I don't think this is going away next week. The summer always sucks. There's always a summer lull. I think we're in for until like September. I think we're going to be in this position. So get ready to to not have a fun summer if all you do all day is sit at home and stare at charts. But I mean, I don't know. Try to like better yourself. Try to develop some skills here. Look, like I said, I'm 100% invested in this market. If Bitcoin went to if Satoshi came back and nuked Bitcoin and it went to literal zero, which the whole market would go with it, I'd be pretty down. But I'd be broke, dude. I'd be broke. But I have 100% confidence that I'd be able to get a very well-paying job, as well as just join a startup and crush at that startup because of everything I've learned. I think too many people sit at home, they stare at charts, and they don't improve their network. They're not doing anything to better themselves. They're just gambling on stuff, which it's a risk if this all goes to zero. So I think like you need to use the meantime here to like try to better yourself, develop some skills, and maybe that's going to allow you to unlock one of these methods of making money outside of just buying and holding.
Well said.
Somebody said here, no need to check the charts when you could just play Cambria. True. And their game opening up again this weekend. I'm going to be grinding that. Maybe I'll do like a really long stream. A free mint meta would be juicy, like the one Goblet Town started. Yeah, we've had a lot of really good free mints, and I think we're going to have more. It's just kind of project to track them. A lot of them do like market make their prices. I'm sure there was some stuff like that went on with Goblin Town. But yeah, I would love to get another Goblin Town or some like random meta that pops off. We haven't had like one of those NFT metas where one project drops, does really well, and then 50 million copies of it comes out. I would love to see that. But right now, like there's so little attention. There's so little people trading NFTs. Dude, I always like whenever I see people, all the posts or even this week about like, we're so back, NFTs are back. Like, dude, if we look at it right now on Dune, like there's still less than the whole month of June, there's been like less than 3,000 unique wallets trading per day. We did have a lot of volume yesterday. I guess it was just people dumping their positions because they got scared. But yeah, we're really not back. Like we are really not back. Bottom is here. Ethereum to 20K. I hope, dude. I hope. Just work at McDonald's for the next 2 months. True. I have a McDonald's right next to me, my favorite place. And I saw some people filling out job applications. So I'm going to have some competition. But you know what? I can go flip burgers for a couple months. And get free McFlurries.
Yep.
Anyways, guys, that does it for today's episode. Hope you enjoyed it. We do this every Friday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, usually for an hour. And yeah, appreciate everybody. Should be sure to follow us on all our socials, Twitter, YouTube. Check out our stuff, like it, retweet, support us. Appreciate everybody for being here. Hopefully the market turns around very soon. But if not, we're going to be here every step of the way, holding your hand. And we'll go through this together because Ash and I are in the trenches every day. And we're fully invested here. So feel better if you're down in this market. Go outside, touch grass, hit the gym. I saw DJ, you made a joke. What's the best antidepressant for this market? The best one, dude, no pills, it's gym. Hit the gym. Appreciate everybody. Thank you for joining. Peace.